Nice one, Bats.
Episode 4. The episode begins with Sportsmaster crashing a Christmas bowling tournament. He declares that he is not going to steal the prize money, he is going to win it. He then traps the professional athletes inside glass bowling pins and throws an explosive bowling ball at them. Out of nowhere, Batman arrives to stop them. Sportsmaster claims that he is outnumbered when Blue Beetle comes to help him. When Blue Beetle takes out his goons, Sportsmaster tries to escape, but Batman throws a bowling pin at his legs, causing him to trip and fall over. With the criminals taken care of, Blue Beetle invites him over for Christmas dinner with his family, but Batman turns him down, claiming that crime doesn't take a holiday. Meanwhile, Red Tornado was teaching at a college when he noticed an out-of-control truck. He immediately goes out to rescue a couple of kids that were about to get hit. The father thanks him and claims that his actions have filled their family with the Christmas spirit. Confused, Red Tornado goes to decorate his house, buy presents, and even goes caroling. But he still doesn't understand this Christmas spirit people are talking about. Suddenly, he sees the news that flying saucers are attacking the city, and Batman is the only one at the scene. The aliens demand the surrender of Santa Claus so the kids of Neptune will finally have the joy and happiness they have been denied. Red Tornado arrives and helps Batman destroy the flying saucers, which they later discover are plastic toys. After seeing the logo on the wreckage, Batman recognizes it to be the work of Funhouse. Funhouse appears before them and claims that the games have just begun. He then leaves them a toy doll before leaving, which Batman discovers is a bomb. After taking care of the bomb, Batman and Red Tornado search for clues when they witness a Santa Claus running amok. Batman tries to stop him, but later discovers he is an out-of-control robot. Suddenly, an army of robot Santas surrounded them and went on a rampage. After taking them all down, Funhouse reveals he has hidden a bomb, so they quickly comb the city searching for it. When they couldn't find anything, Red Tornado suspects that it was just a distraction to lure them from Christmas morning. Batman later discovers that Funhouse was the one who created the popular and sought-after Presto PlayPal action figures that kids are so fond of. During this entire time, Batman has flashbacks of the last Christmas he spent with his parents. At the time, young Bruce Wayne asked for a swashbuckler doll for Christmas, but instead received a Nutcracker doll that had been passed down in the family. Bruce was so frustrated that he threw it against the wall and broke it into pieces. Worried that they haven't bought him the doll he wanted, his parents take him to watch a swashbuckler movie instead. Little did Bruce realize that this was the last time he had with his parents, as they were killed in an alley later that night. Come Christmas morning, the Presto PlayPal action figures jump out of their packaging and steal family valuables. The toy soldiers bring it back to Funhouse in a truck just outside the houses when Batman and Red Tornado arrive on the scene. Funhouse claims that if he can't steal from them on Christmas, then he will have to steal Christmas from them. Suddenly, the miniature toy soldiers combine to become one giant robot. Red Tornado battles the giant robot, but when he struggles to stop it, he pushes himself over the limit, which rips the robot apart. He then feels a tingling sensation, which he suspects is the Christmas spirit they are talking about, right before he explodes. Batman picks up the severed head and reassures him that they will have him fixed. Star Labs arrives and loads up his broken parts into a van. Red Tornado claims that it was an incredible sensation, to which Batman greets him Merry Christmas. When Batman gets into the Batmobile, he notices a present on the passenger seat. When he opened it, he was surprised it was the Nutcracker doll that his father once gave to him on Christmas. While in the moment, he suddenly receives an alert, to which he responds that crime doesn't take a holiday, so neither will he. Episode 5. The episode begins with Batman teaming up with newbie Guy Gardner to escort a prisoner on OA. Batman suspects that he was asked to join Gardner's latest assignment to clean up after him, as his temper tends to make a mess of things. He later bumps into Kilowog, who Gardner pours coffee on his prisoner after being insulted. Batman explains that Cavalians grow to an enormous size when they come into contact with any form of liquid. Petey punches Gardner through the wall and into the cafeteria. When he storms into a place full of Green Lanterns, he knocks them out with a clapping shockwave and captures Gardner. Batman saves him with a dehydration device that shrinks Petey back to his original size. Batman claims that Gardner is cleaning up this mess by himself. Later, a prison break takes place at Iron Heights, to which Batman and Green Arrow arrive on the scene. They quickly took out the escaping prisoners, which led to both becoming competitive over who could take down more. When they come to a tie, they find a lone prisoner making a break for the gate. Batman and Green Arrow attack him, but their weapons get deflected with magic. Before they could react, the prisoner used magic to teleport them. The prisoner reveals himself to be Merlin Ambrosius and explains that he has teleported them to 5th century Britain, specifically to Camelot, the home of King Arthur. He explains that not so long ago, King Arthur's half-sister, Morgane Le Fay, was seeking to wrest the throne from their beloved king. Although the Knights of the Round Table fought valiantly, they stood no chance against Le Fay's enchantments. Even he was defeated, and his student had finally surpassed the master. Everyone, including Arthur, was turned to stone, and a terrible darkness fell over the land. Merlin claims that hope remains, and reveals that he hid Excalibur years ago, which is the only thing capable of overcoming Le Fay's magic and restoring the king. He states that he turned to mystic runes to find the one worthy to pull out the sword in the stone, but it would only show him that either of them was fated to be worthy. Morgane overhears their conversation through her magic mirror and orders Jason Blood to stop them from pulling the sword. Before Jason leaves, Morgane forces him to turn into the demon Etrigan. On their way to Excalibur, Etrigan and a horde of supernatural creatures ambush them on the road. Merlin stops Etrigan with his magic, but when he tries to turn him back to being his servant, Etrigan sneaks up from behind him with magic and knocks Merlin down. Even after being transported into the past and against supernatural creatures, Green Arrow and Batman continue to be overly competitive against each other. Etrigan tosses a giant rock at them, but Batman throws a grenade, and Green Arrow shoots an arrow at him that forces him to retreat. Morgane is furious when Etrigan returns, so defeated that she decides to take care of this herself. They finally arrive at the Tower of Excalibur, but before they can approach the tower, giant trolls emerge from the water and try to stop them. After defeating the trolls, Morgane and Etrigan show up before them. Green Arrow is offended when everyone quickly assumes that Batman is the worthy one. Morgane claims she isn't there to stop him from fulfilling his destiny, to which she then turns Batman into an actual Dark Knight with her magic. Morgane and Etrigan then distract Merlin while Batman fetches Excalibur for her. Merlin sends Green Arrow to stop Batman but gets defeated and falls off the cliff. Merlin casts a spell to which Etrigan tries to stop him from chanting, but it still reaches Batman. Morgane accompanies Batman inside and orders her Dark Knight to pull the sword from the stone. When she thinks he will retrieve Excalibur for her, Batman turns around and throws a batarang at her. Merlin shows up together with Jason Blood, who has finally been freed from Le Fay's enchantment. In a fit of rage, Morgane turns into a giant dragon and attacks, causing the building to collapse on them. Batman tries to pull out the sword, but Merlin is surprised that he can't pull it out. With our heroes powerless, Morgane then turns Etrigan and Merlin to stone. When she turns her attention to Batman, Green Arrow attacks her with an explosive arrow. Green Arrow was confident that he would be able to pull the sword on his own. When the sword wouldn't budge, Batman suspects that together they'd be able to pull it out. Morgane attacks them head-on, but her magic is ineffective against Excalibur. Batman hands the sword to Green Arrow, who fires it at her chest, destroying her and her enchantments. With the battle over, Batman wonders what Etrigan will do with his freedom, but he disappears, claiming that it is of no concern to them. Merlin claims that Arthur would knight them, but when they start arguing again, Merlin sends them back to their time. Batman worries that they might have taken this competitiveness way too far. He claims that they're still tied when, out of nowhere, they receive reports of a break-in at a bank in Star City, to which they go at it again and race to whoever gets there first. Episode 6. The episode begins with a giant Black Manta robot rampaging into the city, to which Batman teams up with B'wana Beast to take him down. B'wana Beast uses his powers to combine a horse and a spider to form the horse spider. He tries to stop the giant robot, but it cuts through the webbing and fires missiles at him. Batman grabs its attention and lures it near the docks. B'wana Beast then uses a pelican to merge with a shark, which flies into the cockpit and defeats Black Manta. With the villain apprehended, Batman is forced to admit that B'wana Beast's power is useful, albeit he finds it disgusting. Later, Batman goes sparring with the boxing hero Wildcat, who, despite his age, is still in excellent shape. After a quick workout, Wildcat prepares his protein shake, but Batman worries about the things he puts into it, which he calls the Tiger Tonic. Wildcat worries that no one goes to the gym anymore, which Batman finds convenient, and suggests retiring after his recent heart scare. Wildcat objects and claims he is still in top shape, and that his heart scare was nothing but a case of heartburn. Suddenly, Batman receives an alert of a commotion at a shopping mall, to which Wildcat suggests he accompany him. 3 teenagers with superpowers show up at the shopping mall, tearing the place down. Batman and Wildcat arrive at the scene, to which Batman quickly recognizes them to be Outsiders Black Lightning, Katana, and Metamorpho. Black Lightning claims that Batman has been stopping them for weeks, but they keep on slipping away. While Batman battles with Black Lightning, Wildcat fights it out with Katana and Metamorpho. They catch Wildcat off guard, with Metamorpho's unique powers, and immobilize him. When Katana was about to finish him off, Batman threw batarangs to get her to back away while lifting the heavy Metamorpho that was on top of Wildcat. Metamorpho turns into liquid, which soaks them both, so Black Lightning uses it to zap them with his powers. Using that brief distraction, the Outsiders flee from the scene. Batman worries about Wildcat and asks him to sit this one out, but he refuses and chases after the Outsiders into the subway. When they finally catch up, the battle continues with Batman dodging attacks from Black Lightning and Katana. Wildcat goes up against Metamorpho, but when he tries to trick him into punching his solid body, Wildcat pulls his punches and throws him on the rail. Suddenly, there's an incoming train, and Wildcat jumps to try and save Metamorpho, but he turns into gas and escapes. Wildcat was nearly hit by the train if not for Batman, who pushed him out of the way. When they looked up, the Outsiders were gone. Batman pulls out a gadget that reveals a secret underground path, which they follow. The Outsiders reported back to their leader, Slug, who created a community in the sewers. Slug claims that the surface dwellers despise them and that he took them in because he cared. Black Lightning states that they are grateful and reports that they've been followed. Slug worries that the intruders would threaten their community and orders Black Lightning and the others to eliminate them. Metamorpho is reluctant and wonders if they could scare them away, but Slug insists they need to finish them off. Following the sewer, Wildcat suddenly steps on a trap and gets caught inside a container. Metamorpho then transforms into gas that knocks them out. Batman and Wildcat later wake up suspended above a pit of mutant snapping turtles. As they are slowly lowered into the pit, Wildcat blames himself for getting them caught and thinks that they might be right, and he should have retired. Batman explains that the only reason he wanted him to retire was because he was like a father to him, and he didn't want to lose another one. His words so moved Wildcat that he tried to get Slug to free them by provoking him. Slug gets agitated and fights Wildcat in a fistfight while Batman is still tossed to the bottom of the pit. Batman breaks free from his chains and dodges the snapping turtles. He quickly climbs to the top and picks up the utility belt they took from him. Although Slug lands solid punches on Wildcat, he starts to slow down to catch his breath. Wildcat waited for him to tire himself out before landing the finishing blow, to which he picked up and threw Slug into the toxic wastewater. When Batman prepares to fight the Outsiders, Wildcat stops him and tells them that he too felt like an outsider growing up. Instead of wallowing in his misfortune, he found the ring and never looked back. He offers to train them, but before they can answer, Slug emerges from the toxic water. Having mutated into a gigantic, tentacled monstrosity, Slug is shocked that Wildcat and Batman are still alive and suspects the Outsiders to have betrayed him. Slug attacks them, but when Wildcat tries to stop him, he has a heart attack and collapses. With Batman working together with the Outsiders, they were able to defeat him when Metamorpho turned into liquid and soaked Slug with it. Black Lightning then uses it to knock him out with a supercharged attack. When they turned around, they were shocked to find Wildcat on the ground. Katana speaks for the first time and orders Metamorpho to turn into oxygen and enter his lungs, while Black Lightning uses his powers to jumpstart his heart. Wildcat wakes up and reassures them he still has 4 lives left. The Outsiders return with Wildcat to his gym. He was sparring with Black Lightning, while Metamorpho was thrilled about the Tiger Tonic. Batman believes that with Wildcat's help, the Outsiders may turn out to be something good. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos and subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.